What is up, fundraising family? I'm waiting for my battery to charge, but I have jewelry on and makeup on. So I'm like, I'm going to make a live video and see if anyone pops on. And I'm going to use this time to answer some of your questions. Interesting. Can you hear me okay? Leave me a comment if you can. I haven't done a live with this setup before. Okay, so I'm just going to be answering some questions that show up that I get all the time, and a lot of them are about Zoom. So we are going to definitely talk about Zoom today. Okay, so the first question, and by the way, I'm Abra Annes. You know me from YouTube. Here I am. We're answering your questions today. Okay. So the first question comes from Sandy Navarro. She asked this question 1 week ago. For pre-recorded videos, do you recommend using a streaming platform like StreamYard to stream on multiple platforms? I want to stream a pre-recorded gala on Facebook and YouTube simultaneously. Thank you. So Sandy, this is a very, very common question. And yes, StreamYard is one of the technologies that I adore. I am not associated with StreamYard, but I like StreamYard very, very much. And you can use StreamYard to push out to multiple channels. However, if your main goal is to just push out to multiple channels, then StreamYard is not your best choice. Your best choice is a platform called Restream.io, and you have to upload your pre-recorded video into Restream. It does need to be compressed, so your video editor will need to compress it for you, and then you can push it out to Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, whatever you'd like to do. StreamYard is great if you want to interview somebody or go live from my house to my best friend's house to the CEO's house. That's what StreamYard is really for. And if your main goal, Sandy, is just to, or to any of you out there watching, is to just push to multiple platforms, then StreamYard, you're not using the full power of StreamYard, so you don't really need to do that. I'm going to pause for 1 second and move you guys a little closer because it's driving me nuts. Sorry, that's better. Okay, there we go. Better, worse? And I don't know what happened to my chat. I'm supposed to be good at this technology, but I rarely do YouTube Live. Next question comes from EEP Events Audio. Been getting a lot of questions from, I think, event producers or audio production people. Abra, what do you think about doing a gala on a Zoom webinar, which is similar to Zoom, but they have a webinar platform, so there isn't a lag time, and then streaming it onto Facebook? So again, this question is about using Zoom and then pushing it out to Facebook. For those of you who watch my videos or have chatted with me on the phone, you know that I do not love live virtual events. I'm doing one right now. And by the way, I have 2,300 subscribers. So technically 2,300 people who are like, Abra, I like you, I want to watch you. And right now I have like 3 people watching, which is awesome. I thought I'd get 0. So thank you to the people who are watching. But it's one of the reasons I don't love live. I believe that Google, that YouTube, Google owns YouTube, that Facebook, that all these big technology companies, Netflix, they have trained us, especially in the United States, to live in an on-demand culture. And that's how I like to get my media. I like to go on YouTube and watch videos whenever I want, whether it's 2 o'clock in the morning when I can't sleep, or the middle of the day when I need a break, or whenever it might be. Same thing with Facebook, same thing with Netflix. It's on demand whenever I want. So the problem with Zoom is you have to be on the Zoom. So I think what they're asking is, hey, I want to host my virtual gala on Zoom, then record the whole thing, and then put it on Facebook. What I don't love about that is like, you're basically using Zoom as a cheap way to record yourself, and it's just going to look cheap and, no offense, like Zoom tacky. So why would you use Zoom in the first place? So my answer is to EE, can't even read anymore. And I also lost my glasses. I'm like such an old lady now. EEP Events, Audio and Visual. I would not use Zoom at all. If you want to do a pre-recorded video, do a beautiful high production value pre-recorded video and then put that out on Facebook. But don't use Zoom and then pretend somebody's going to want to watch it on Facebook, because there is no way in hell that I attend like 8 Zooms a week. And I know that's not a lot for a lot of you. You're doing like 8 Zooms a day. I don't want to watch a Zoom on Facebook. That's not what I'm interested to see. So I would not do that. All right, I'm going to go check on the chat. Where is my chat? I don't know where my chat is. That's so annoying. I lost my chat, guys. I'm sorry. Maybe try to chat me and I'll chat you back if I can figure it out. I don't know. I'm using my new computer. Okay. Next question from Julie Ball 2 weeks ago. Where are you located and are you available for consultation? Julie, I live in Northern California, where it is 1,000 degrees and there's wildfires everywhere. And yes, I am available for consultation, but I am no longer available for consultation with one-on-one nonprofits. I have been getting, and I love it, and I'm so thankful for it, so many inquiries, because YouTube has really expanded my reach, and a lot of people want to work with me. So what I have done is I have created group consulting, because many of you, what I'm finding, have the exact same questions, and so it's much easier to address. So I am offering group consulting once a week. It's on Thursday mornings, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific time. And it's called the Virtual Gala Power Hour. Now, when I do one-on-one consulting for an hour, it's $400. To attend this 4 hours with me, it's $150. And the goal is that you bring 2 or 3 people from your board or your team, you attend it together, you work on things in the session together. It's very interactive. And at the end of it, you have made decisions that, yes, we are going to hold a hybrid gala. We're going to hold a pre-recorded gala. This is the outline of our basic virtual gala that we want to do, et cetera, et cetera. And it gets you started off on the right track. If you want more information about that, you can head to my website, and it's called Virtual Gala Power Hour. Even though it's 4 hours, I still called it Power Hour. Okay. The next question, thoughts on a virtual silent auction? Oh, please meet my new best friend, the 64-ounce Hydro Flask in 100-degree heat. It is so necessary. Can someone hit the thumbs up button if you're trying to chat me? I literally have no idea where chat went. It's driving me crazy. No. Okay, if you are trying to chat me, hit the thumbs up button so I can maybe find it, because usually the chat's right over on the right-hand side. Okay, next question. Thoughts on virtual silent auction? And this is from the Louis Armstrong Center for Music about 2 weeks ago. Virtual silent auctions. They're called now online auctions. They're nothing new, and they are amazing during COVID. They're just going great. They've been phenomenal. People are really in the habit of shopping online. They like supporting you. They like perusing what you've got, and people love getting a good deal, and online auctions often provide a good deal. Now, I will tell you that there are some major, major drawbacks right now with online auctions. Number one is you have to, just getting the items is incredibly time consuming. It was before, but it is now, and the economy is very different. So that's number one. Number two, there isn't an easy way to get the items to your donors, to your bidders anymore. It used to be like, pick them up after school or come to the gala or whatever. Now you have to set up a very specific pickup time and location, or you have to ship everything, which is just more cost for your nonprofit. So consider that with your online auction. But I do love a very good online auction. People always ask me for software recommendations. I'm not affiliated with a particular company, so it is what it is. They're all very similar. I would say make sure whatever software you choose has a text platform, like it sends text reminders to the phone. And It also has like a buy it now option, which is copyrighted by eBay, but whatever, it has the option to purchase it right now. And most of the big platforms have that available. Okay, next. Okay. This is from Lending Hearts about 3 weeks ago. Thank you so much for these videos. You're welcome. Have you offered any videos on hybrid galas? Have you offered any videos on having ticket prices and best sponsorship offerings? So these are really 3 questions in one, and we're going to take them one by one. So we're going to take the easiest one first, which is tickets. It's my personal opinion that tickets are unnecessary during this time. You don't have a lot of expenses. You're not paying for catering. You're not paying for a venue. So why charge for tickets? Typically, historically, organizations ask you to pay for your ticket to offset their costs, but your costs now should be like 2/3 to 3/4 lower than they were before. And I'm hearing of tons of nonprofits who are getting their virtual galas done for under like $2,000. So good for you guys. And in that case, you really don't need to sell tickets. I think people are considering selling tickets because it was one of their revenue streams in the physical world, but it's no longer a revenue stream in the virtual world. So I would scratch that. And people are thinking like, oh, I'm going to offer people dinner. I'm going to send dinner to their house. I'm going to send champagne to their door. It's another question we have. Stay in your lane. You're not a delivery company of food or alcohol. You're not catering. Stick to what you do best, which is telling stories and fundraising and doing the good work that you do. Don't get in the delivery business. So ticket prices. I would not do ticket prices because what we're really going for is eyeballs. We're going for views. So that's the ticket prices question. The second part of this 3-part question is best sponsorship offerings. Sponsorships are very interesting right now. Sponsorships are happening, but sponsorships are happening only with sponsors that you have an existing relationship with. So I would not go after any new sponsorships. You can if you have the time. I wouldn't expect anything. But sponsorships are happening with existing corporations and individuals. What people are offering to their sponsors in return is very, very similar, except now you can put a number on it. We can say, we're going to mention you 8 times in our virtual gala. We're going to put your logo up on our Facebook page. We're going to give you 4 Facebook posts and 3 tweets and 2 Instagram posts. That's what people are looking for now. People are spending so much time on the computer, on the phone. I got another computer over there. I'm basically living my life in front of technology, and that is valuable to me as a business owner and also as a donor, like to offer that. Hey, we're gonna, we have a Facebook platform, a Facebook page with 5,000 likes and followers. We're gonna put you up there once a week for 5 weeks. That has value, and you can link to them, whatever they want. You can also offer to include like a little animation of their logo, all these kinds of things that you can do virtually. I actually think it's much better now as a sponsor than it was in a live gala, because it was like, here's your slide on a PowerPoint when no one's watching because they're all eating steak. So I actually think it's better now, and make that value proposition to your sponsors. Okay, the big question, hybrid galas. Hybrid galas. Wear this big necklace, but you like can't see it. Nobody's chatting me. Nobody's hitting that thumbs up button. That means it's my grandma watching. And I'm so sorry that I cannot figure out where my chat went. So frustrating. Okay, so the big question is hybrid gala. A hybrid gala is part pre-recorded and part live. This is the most confusing type of virtual gala that there is right now. Every auctioneer I know hates me for saying this, and I understand why. I get it, but this is the truth, and I've talked to many, many, many companies who agree with me, like technology companies. I cannot figure out a reason why you would do any part of your virtual gala live. I literally cannot figure it out. Why what would happen live would be better live than pre-recorded. So I had a conversation with a development director this morning who's like, our head of school wants to give a speech. And I said, why does the speech have to be live? Why is the speech going to be better live than pre-recorded? Because what I think about is, okay, if you're going to do it live, then you get one shot, just one. And their technology better be working right, and their lighting better be perfect, and they better not mispronounce a word and get everything exactly right, because that is their one shot. Versus, let's pre-record it and let's take 10 takes, and I'll take the best one of the 10 that you made. And by the way, we can use language that sounds like it's live. I happen to be live right now, but for example, if I was pre-recording this for you, I'd be like, hey, can anybody hear me? Oh, you want me to turn up the volume? Yeah, hold on real quick. There are things you can say and do that make it seem to your viewer like it's live. However, why do we want it to be live? I watch, and thank you to my 3 viewers who are watching this live, I watch like 0 live content now. I don't watch live TV. I don't watch a lot of YouTube lives because it just doesn't fit for my lifestyle. I watch content on demand. And if we believe that we know more than Google, than YouTube, than Facebook, than Netflix, then sure, go ahead and do live. But everything that is coming at us is telling us that like live is dead, basically. There's no more watch every 9 p.m. on a Thursday night for ER. Now it's watch ER whenever you want. I know ER is over, but whatever. It play to what your donors are used to and what they know, and that's watching it on demand. So I don't recommend a hybrid gala. You need both technologies, which I think is the worst. Like, better do it all live or all pre-recorded. But I think the hybrid just ends up being a mess. So I would not recommend doing the hybrid. I will try to find some hybrid galas for you and review them if you want. Just let me know, leave a comment down below. I am gonna pause for 30 seconds to see if I could get the chat again. I'm so annoyed at myself for doing this. I literally can't figure out what's going on. Okay, next question. This is from Crystal Mattia. Do you have any recommendations on platform to host your live virtual fundraiser? If you want to host a live virtual fundraiser, use the platform that your online auction is on. Almost all of them have used the same technology to host a live event. If you don't have an online gala, you can use Zoom, which I don't like. You can use StreamYard. You can use a bunch of different ones, but keep it all cohesive. There's no reason why you would need to hire a private streaming service to stream your gala to send everybody to, let's pretend you're using One Cause. I'm not using One Cause, but I know they have a platform, or Greater Giving has a platform. Just keep everything in-house. It'll be much simpler and you don't have to do any integrations. Okay, Donna Calla asks, can I ask what camera and microphone you use? It's so clear and the audio is so good. Well, Donna, thank you. I actually disagree. My camera is 6 years old. I use a Canon PowerShot G7X. It's maybe 5.5 years old. It doesn't have an external microphone. It's a point and shoot with automatic focus. When I do the review videos, when I review another video, I use a separate microphone because I don't like the audio on that one. And I use this, and this is called the Yeti Blue Snowball. And I use this to record clearer video. To do that, I'm actually in the market for a new camera with an external microphone. However, I think that Donna's question is really how do I film at home myself? And the truth and the answer is right here. If you have an iPhone that's a 7 or above, get this. And I'm going to do a video on it soon. And there are wireless Bluetooth little clip-on microphones that you can buy on Amazon that link directly to your phone. And you can get unbelievable audio and very, very good picture quality with your iPhone. If I would have had this when I started out doing YouTube, I would have used this. And now I'm a little more picky, so that's a different story. But you definitely can film board members. You can film it all yourself at home. Just use this. Now remember, the back camera is better than the front camera, than the screen camera. Always shoot horizontal and make sure you're against kind of like a boring wall. But Donna, you don't need a fancy camera. Mine's like $500. You don't need it. Okay. Next question. Sorry, I was shooting a real video and my camera died. Okay. Okay, this is from Lauren Rumpf. She asks, do you have any idea if virtual galas are raising as much money as live events? This is an excellent question, and it's one of the biggest questions that I have. The truth is, some organizations are and some organizations are not. The only real way to know is to go back and look at press releases from previous years to see what organizations had raised in 2019 and 2018 and compare it to 2020 if the organization does put out a press release. In truth, I think organizations are raising more because they have lower expenses. So, but I don't know. I can only tell you from my clients if it's from more donors donating lesser amounts, so with smaller donations, or if it's from fewer donors with bigger donations. What I'm consulting all my clients to do is call every donor at that $1,000, $5,000, whatever it is for your organization, where you start to consider it like a big gift, $1,000 and above, and get them to recommit prior to your gala. I think personally, you should have 70+% of your gifts in before you launch your virtual gala. And I think these organizations who are just like leaving it up to chance and hoping people will log on live and donate are really, really being risky. And I don't think we're not in the fiscal environment where it's smart to be risky. Get those donations in. And right now, donors really like a reason to give, and that's a virtual gala, and they like a deadline to give by, and that's also your virtual gala. So my guess would be most organizations are raising similar if they do it correctly, similar to what they raised last year. And some organizations are raising more. The real big question I have is, what's going to happen in the spring of 2021? You know, was virtual just a blip on the radar? Are people going to be excited about it again? You know, what's going to happen there? Okay, next question. By the way, hit the thumbs up button. It looks like this if you are trying to chat me or have a question, because I cannot find my chat. And I'm hoping that if somebody chats me, it'll show up, and maybe by hitting the thumbs up button, I'll know and go looking for it. Okay, the next question is from Tracy Range. Do we need some type of copyright in order to use and play music in a virtual gala? If we have background music in our mission video and have a dance group do a routine to a popular song, will we go to copyright jail? Thanks for all the help. Tracy, great question. So first of all, I am not the expert on copyrights. Hold on, I gotta chug some more. Hold on. This is a great question. I learned this the hard way in one of my first YouTube videos. I went to copyright jail. It's not as big a deal as you think. But so the truth is, yes, you need copyright to play popular music. You need to make sure that you do have the rights to that song, whether it's a band performing or it's playing in the background or you're singing the song. You will go to copyright jail. The rules on YouTube are you get 30 seconds of copyright material, but it's actually like 27, and you'll get dinged if you go over 27. The better thing to do is use non-copyright music, and there are millions and millions of non-copyright music. You can find it on SoundCloud. There's tons of websites, and YouTube also has its own audio library that allows you to download any song you want, give credit to the artist, and use the full song. And I use a lot of this music in my own videos, and you can sort by dramatic and cinematic and happy and sad and uplifting. You can sort by theme, by type. It's phenomenal. That's what I would recommend, because yes, you do need a copyright, and don't mess with YouTube copyright. It'll take down your video and you get a copyright strike, which is no good. Okay, this is from Carla again. By the way, I love all of you who ask questions. If you have a question, go to any of my videos, and I usually type back, but sometimes people want a real answer, so this is what we're doing today. Carla Doman. Did we already ask a question from Carla? Who cares? Love the videos. Thank you, Carla. With YouTube or Facebook, can you switch from pre-recorded video to a live auction and back to pre-recorded? If I wanted to pre-record as much as I can and still do a live auction, is it a seamless transition? Thanks. So this is one of the examples where you would want to use a platform like StreamYard so that you could play your pre-recorded version and then switch to your auctioneer's house and have them do it live if that was very important to you. So yes, you can. You cannot do it directly through Facebook. You cannot do it directly through YouTube. You have to use the platform called StreamYard, which also has a private stream, and it allows you to push it out to other streams. StreamYard, I've mentioned it a couple times, I've used it, is, you know when you watch the Oscars and they show you the control room and it's like, all right, go to camera 4, all right, go to camera 2. You need kind of a behind the scenes control person. It's not hard. Any high school student could probably do it, to follow the script and switch the show back and forth. Okay, this video is done playing. Now we're going to MC. Now we're going to our live auction. And you do need that kind of back end kind of management if you're going to use StreamYard. But Carla, the bigger question here for me is like, why do you want to do a live auction? This is the biggest question I have for all these events doing live auctions. I have yet to be convinced that doing a live auction is a good idea. And I get the auctioneer wants to make money, and I get the consignment companies want to sell you packages. But why do you, if you know, you've heard me talk about this before, your virtual gala should be less than 40 minutes. And a live auction is going to take 4 to 5 minutes per item. Let's say you have 4 items. So let's just call it 18 minutes. Why would you want to spend 18 minutes of your 40-minute gala, like half of it, selling 4 items to like 7 people in the audience who are going to bid? And if you have 500 people watching, the message you're really sending is, I care the most about these 7 wealthy people, and I don't care about the rest of you. And y'all just need to sit here and watch it, even if it's incredibly boring. Now, I'm an auctioneer. I'm a pretty good auctioneer. And I'm great in the room when you can't leave because you're talking to your friends and you're hanging out and you're eating your steak or your chicken or your friend is being honored later. But when it's on TV and I get on the TV and I start selling you these gorgeous roses and you're not going to buy them, you click away. You can go watch Netflix. You can go do whatever you want. I just can't understand why we would stop our 40-minute gala, stop telling the story of what we do and who we are to to sell something to 4 people, honestly, who are going to buy it. I just think it's incredible waste of time. And by the way, the truth is, put it in your online auction. It's going to do just as well. Just leave it there. I don't like that. So that's the bigger question for me. Okay, the next question comes from LLW, wants to know, what do you think of delivering champagne to all our major donors? Okay, so I think what LL is asking is, many nonprofits have done this. They deliver like little, they're called splits. They're like little tiny bottles of champagne, and they leave them at your door, and you're supposed to pop them and watch it live and take pictures and post them on social media. I love that idea in concept. I have 2, maybe 3 big issues with it. Number 1, you're not in the delivery business. What a crazy waste of time to go out delivering these tiny splits of alcohol. That's number 1. Or these tiny bottles. Like, that's not how you should be spending your time. Spend your time telling your story, focusing on your mission, doing the work you do, and connecting with donors. But no nonprofit is like, your mission is delivering alcohol. That's number 1. Number 2, This implies that you're doing a live event. We know how I feel about live events, but it also excludes anybody who's not in your local area. So if you have a major donor who's in New York and your organization's based in Florida, they're not getting alcohol and they may feel excluded. I'm big on inclusion. Then again, I live in California. And the last part, and probably the most, I think, important part is, I know many people in my life who are in recovery, and literally a split of champagne on their doorstep is a trigger for them or could start them down a really, really bad path. And unless you're going to ask people, are you in recovery? Are you an alcoholic? Is it okay? I would not go anywhere near this. Same thing with food. You deliver somebody food with peanuts, like, just stay in your lane as a nonprofit. Focus on telling your story, doing the work, what you need the money for, and fundraising. Like, all these things are superfluous and they are a waste of your time. Don't get bogged down by it. Okay. This is from Eva. Eva, I'm going to butcher your last name. Rashik. Eva asks, is it a good idea to feature some live music during a virtual gala? What about a musician? I'm asking because we have both at our live in-person dinners. No, it is not a good idea. You have 40 minutes. Nobody is going to sit down and watch your video because you have a magician. They're sitting down to watch your virtual gala, whether it's live, pre-recorded, or hybrid, because they love you and they have a connection with you. If they want to watch magician videos, let them go find really excellent magician videos on YouTube or on Netflix or on Peacock or on Amazon Prime. Stay in your lane. It's a big theme here. Stay in your lane. Same thing with live music. I was just sent a virtual gala by the chair of the virtual gala who asked me to review it, which I'm actually going to do. And it was 2 hours long. Why? Because they had 1 hour of live music ahead of time. And they did it because they were in contract with the band. And the band said, like, either we play or we just keep your money, which I think is kind of not great. And they had this 1 hour of music, and it just seemed kind of like a waste. It seemed super long. It wasn't engaging. It was just boring. It was like watching a pre-recorded. It was like watching a performance on YouTube of a band you never heard of. It was like a cover band. I say, Eva, no, you don't need entertainment. You don't need dancers. You don't need magicians. Your organization is enough. If you have enough great stories, which you should, if you have people who love you, have them tell your stories, but you don't need filler. Nobody's coming to your virtual gala to watch entertainment. Okay, Richard wants to know best fundraising software. I'm staying out of best fundraising software. Fundraising software ranges from like $100 a month to 3% per transaction, per $1 per registrant, all the way up to like $9,000. Pick which one works best for you and your budget. Make sure it has a text option where you can text your participants, and make sure it has like a buy it now donation kind of thing, or an instant donation button. That's all you really need. They're all basically very, very similar. Okay. This is from Nicole Nadeau. Who knows? Thank you for these videos. You're welcome. We will pre-record our fundraiser, but we typically do a fund a need, also known as a paddle raise or a live appeal, that gets a lot of donations, I think, because we recognize donors as they bid. People like to be recognized for their generosity. I agree. How do we do this if the event is pre-recorded? Nicole, this is a great question. All your questions have been phenomenal. And thank you so much for everyone who's watching. I'm just going to pause right here before I answer Nicole's question. So many of you have asked me to consult with me, and I would love to consult with you one-on-one, but I just don't have the time to do it. So I'm offering group consulting once a week. It's called the Virtual Gala Power Hour. And even though it's not an hour, it's 4 hours with me. It's on Thursdays, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Pacific. It's interactive. It's $149 per person. You're supposed to bring, if you'd like to, some key stakeholders in this process. and go through this interactive session together where there's some learning from me, there's some worksheets from me, and at the end, you will have you will know what track you want to be on, live, hybrid, or pre-recorded. You'll have a basic outline for your virtual gala, and you'll know exactly the technology you need, and you'll come up with a basic budget. So $149 is for 4 hours, I think. Very reasonable. It's way less than I charge for 1 hour to work with one organization, so you can essentially get a lot more out of it. And that information is on my website, Auctions Generosity, or I'll leave it down below. It's the Virtual Gala Power Hour. Okay, how do we recognize donors for their generosity? The simple answer is, Nicole, that I would get the majority of your donations, and I've mentioned this before, in before your gala goes live, whether it goes live for real, whether it goes premiere live for pre-recorded, which yours is going to be, or whether it goes some kind of hybrid version of live, which is half live, half not live. So what you're going to do is you're going to reach out to all those donors and you're going to ask them to donate what they donated last year or more. I will tell you, this is the #1 trend I'm seeing, is that if you donated $1,000 last year, your organization is going to ask you to donate $1,500 because you don't have to buy tickets, you don't have to pay for parking, you don't have to get a new dress, etc. So you're actually saving a ton of money. So you're going to say, hey, last year you donated $1,000. We'd love you to consider a gift of $1,500. Here's why, and here's what we are going to use the money for, and get the gift pre-committed. Then in your pre-recorded video, you can do one of two things. You can just say, thanks to all our donors of $3,000 and up, list them. Thanks to all our donors at the $2,000 level, list them. Or you can do what a lot of organizations are doing. Do not be fooled. They're doing a smoke and mirror fund a need. They are pretending to do a fund a need live, but all the gifts are already in and they're being added to the tally, to the thermometer in like behind the scenes. You could do this pre-recorded very easily. You can be like, oh, there's a gift of $1,000 from Janet and Steve Smith. Thank you. And oop, the tally just went up. But by the way, I knew that gift was in and I recorded this 2 weeks ago. That's the easiest way to do it. I would not worry about thanking all your lower level donors. You just don't have time. I mean, if the gifts come in ahead of time, sure, great. But the gifts you're going to get live are going to be very few and far between. Quite honestly, you're not going to get a ton of gifts that are live in the moment. And if you do, reach out to them personally, say thank you, or you can put out a post video thank you to donors you missed. There's lots of other ways to do this, but this is the way I would do it. So either like thank them or do like a pretend smoke and mirror virtual fund a need. Okay. Rudy says, hi, can you contact me, and leaves his phone number. Please don't do that. I do not read these comments enough, and I don't have the time to like reach out to you. You want to contact me, you can send me an email through the contact information on my website, but honestly, I have been just like slammed. So I appreciate it so much. I never thought my channel would get this big. I'm still small by YouTube channels, but I am just so grateful, and I'm just doing the best I can to give nonprofits of all sizes the information that they need. Okay. Oh, this is a great question. I'm sorry that I didn't answer it sooner. From, God, where are my glasses? Kirsten Westlow, thanks for these helpful videos. Welcome. Is there a particular day of the week and time of day that works better to premiere a virtual gala? I love this question because it really shows me that Kirsten is thinking outside of the box. So many organizations that reach out to me and that I'm consulting with are doing such a literal transition of their live event to put it on virtual. They're saying, we used to have it on a Saturday night at 7 p.m. Our virtual gala is going to be at 7 p.m. on a Saturday night. And it doesn't need to be that way just because that's what it used to be. In fact, if we believe, and I do, that YouTube and Facebook and Netflix know more than I know, then we should play the algorithm game, which is with YouTube and Google and Facebook, which is the more eyeballs who see your video, your content, your post, the better. And you're going to get more eyeballs the earlier you post in the day. And oftentimes you get more eyeballs midweek than you do on the weekend when people are hanging out with family and gardening or swimming or whatever else they do, camping. I have many clients who are doing their virtual gala in the morning, and I think this is a wonderful idea because it allows people to watch and share your video all day long, which is what YouTube and Facebook want you to do. They want you to watch and they want you to share it back. And so the more time you have to do that, the more time Facebook and YouTube have for their algorithm to say, wow, people are watching this video, let's push it out to more people. So I think morning is better than evening. And I actually think you'd have to look at the YouTube and Facebook metrics, which you can Google. The statistics are they put out every month the best time to post or the most popular time to post. I would put it out then and let people watch it in playback at their own discretion. Give them 12 hours to watch. Hey, if you can watch our virtual gala today, that would be amazing. Between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. That's not 12 hours, and 8 p.m. and 8 p.m. And let people know the gala is not just at 8 a.m. and it's not just at 8 p.m. It's any time in between, and you can give any time in between. That's how a lot of these organizations are making big money. Sharon Avenry says, great video. Have you found a virtual gala that did it right so I can watch? For all of you who know me and have been watching my videos, the answer is yes. There are two that I think did it practically perfect, Mary Poppins style. The Pinky Swear Foundation Gala, which my video is called The Perfect Virtual Gala, and you can find that in my playlist. And also the 20-minute gala did a very, very, very good job in a really, really short amount of time. So check out those two, and I'm going to be reviewing more. They're really time consuming to film, and they're incredibly time consuming to edit. And I have 3 kids. I am pregnant. It's been 190 degrees. I do not want to sit in my office and edit for the past 3 weeks. So that's what's going on. Okay. Isabel and Sarah says, and this is the last question, and then I gotta go. Would you please talk about doing an online silent auction at a virtual event that would start 2 weeks before and end about 1 week after the virtual event? Thanks. So there are 3 ways to run your online auction while you are in conjunction with a virtual gala. The first is 2 weeks ahead of time. The second is 2 weeks after. So the first way, let me start over. There's 3 ways. The first way is 2 weeks ahead and 2 weeks prior to your virtual gala, and your virtual gala ends the online auction. The other way is exactly the opposite. The virtual gala kicks off your online auction, and it's open from the time your virtual gala premieres or goes live, whatever, until 2 weeks after. And then there's this hybrid, which is a week after and a week before and a week after. In this case, Isabel saying I want to do 2 weeks before and a week after. So my first comment, Isabel, is that 3 weeks for an online auction is just like too long. 2 weeks is plenty, gives people plenty of time to bid. You don't want to stretch this sucker out, just like make it 2 weeks. 3 weeks just seems, I don't want to be getting text messages for 3 weeks about you've been outbid, you've been out So I would do 2 weeks. The hybrid method is very interesting because it allows you to recognize your virtual auction, your online auction in your virtual gala and still give people time to watch your virtual gala and go bid. What I would say, if you're going to do this hybrid method, which I do really like, make sure that you have like your buy it now option or pay now or take it home option ending open for the week before. So you make some big money up front and then you open up everything in the end. I don't really have a preference for before, after, in the middle. It's kind of whatever works for your organization. But remember, you do need those logistics around picking up the online auction items. And so just be careful there. I would avoid anytime around the election. Do not do an online auction for the week of the election. Just forget about it. Like either do it before or after. Don't do your gala anywhere near that. And don't do it in conjunction with like, just actually the election is going to be the big dog this year. Okay, I have like 3 more minutes and then I have to go. I just want to give you my predictions coming for the fall and the spring season. If you're planning an in-person gala for spring 2021 and you're in any of these heavy hit states, you're not in Wisconsin, you're not in Wyoming, you're not in Idaho, you're in any other state, it's going to be virtual. So plan now on it being virtual and start having conversations with your donors about what that's going to mean. If you're putting together a committee to plan this virtual gala, smaller is better. You do not need 100 million opinions for a virtual gala when you're trying to figure things out for the first or the second time, and you just don't. If you do have a committee, have it be maximum 5 people, and pick your track before you pick your committee. Let people know this is going to be a pre-recorded gala, this is going to be a live gala, this is going to be a hybrid gala, but do not let your committee make those decisions for you, because you will get so far off the rails in conversations, and unless you really understand the technology, you can't just let people pick willy-nilly. Okay, so small committee. Let's talk about honorees. I just had this conversation this morning, so it's really on the top of my mind. Honorees are going to be very, very tricky this year. If it were me and an organization I'm involved with, I would not have honorees this year. I think it's going to be extremely unsatisfying. And the best way I can describe it is we have this really fancy restaurant up here in Napa called French Laundry. There's like a waiting list and it's $1,000. I've never been there. It's like going to that restaurant and getting a McDonald's cheeseburger. It is just unsatisfying. It's just not what you expected. If you waited your life to be recognized in front of the community and be dressed up and have this evening with your friend and get all the accolades and be up there receiving your award, it is not even close to being the same giving people 5 minutes and then being like, oh, thank you for my flowers on video. It just is, it's not even close. So I would not do honorees for 2021. You just don't do it. It's going to cause a lot of problems. Oh, excuse me. And then last but not least, I think, unfortunately, the economy is only getting worse. It is not getting better. And if you can bump up your virtual gala, I would do that soon. I would not be afraid to hold a gala in January or February. If your gala was historically in April, if your gala was historically in December, I would bump that up too. Just so you know, we historically have down fundraising years when we're in the middle of a huge election, which we are. We're in the middle of a presidential election. So don't be surprised if we have some of that. And then also, if your event is planned to be after the election, I would be very careful and very cognizant of that. 4 years ago, when Trump won the first time, and I don't talk about my personal political affiliations, and it doesn't matter what side of the fence you're on, I don't care. I was in Washington, D.C., in what was a very democratic organization, and we did their gala a week after Hillary lost, and nobody was in the mood for fun. Nobody was in the mood for a party. Nobody was in the mood for giving. And the whole event just kind of fell flat. And unfortunately for half of the people in this country, maybe not half, I've seen all those graphics, it's going to be like that this year, that in some parts of the state, people are going to be really excited. And in some parts of the United States, people are not going to be really excited. So yes, I am going to do one last poke around for chats because I'm just so frustrated that I cannot find this, and it's just driving me crazy. Why can I not find the chat on this? It's just so frustrating. I'm really sorry, guys. Usually I'm like answering questions live, and I literally cannot figure it out right now. It isn't working for me. I'm like clicking all these buttons. I don't know. Again, Virtual Gala Power Hour. Get excited. It's going to be really fun. I'm going to answer all your questions, and we're really going to dive deep into what your virtual gala can be and how easy it can be to get it done, and honestly, how cheaply you can get it done. And if you're an auctioneer, I'm sorry. I know it's a tough time to be an auctioneer. It is for me too. My business is totally different than what it is, but I'm not going to try and make a buck off of your organization just to put a buck in my own pocket. I feel I live an extremely ethical life, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to convince you to do a live auction when there's no data to prove that they work, and that they make you any money. So, or that live appeals do that. And that's my wheelhouse, man. I'm like an amazing live fundraiser, but it doesn't make sense here. So thank you guys so much for watching. I can't believe so many of you stuck with me through these 50 minutes. I love you so much. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Please share this, invite people to join us in our fundraising family, and auctionsgenerosity.com. You'll see a tab, Virtual Gala Power Hour. You can sign up right there. There's one starting next week, and I already have a few people signed up, and that's going to be every Thursday, maybe a couple breaks in between because I'm Jewish and I got the high holidays and stuff. But that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you. Have a wonderful weekend, and expect some new videos soon. Take care.